At this time, our meditation service will be done with Cheryl.
Good morning. Does this work? Yeah. Okay. Good morning, everyone. This is just a time where we are going to get quiet and go inside and experience that essence of who we really are. And so you may want to just gently close your eyes and rest your hands in your lap and your feet on the floor. And just begin to take some deep breaths. And as you breathe out, just breathe out through the mouth and let everything go. And we're going to start at the top of the head. And every time we breathe out, we just let go of all the little muscles in the scalp, in the eyes, in the face, the jaw. And breathing out, we let go of the neck and shoulders. And we feel this peace passing through our body. And that peace is down through our arms and our hands and our torso. And as we feel ourselves seated, we just relax the legs down through the calves and the feet and the toes. And we just begin to feel this peace that passes all understanding. Peace. And we may want to focus this inner peace at the single eye, the forehead. We come into that inner space, our inner peace. Let go. Let any thought or word pass through till we get to nothingness. And here we find that inner essence that knows all, that can do all. We turn over over all cares. And we focus on gratitude. Gratitude. And as we go forth this week, we know that all is in divine order. Divine order. And we give thanks continuously. Thank you. And so as we gently begin to come back into this time and space, we carry this feeling, this gratitude with us this week. And you may want to take some deep breaths and just realize that we are back here in this room surrounded by this loving energy. So it is.
So it is. Thank you, Cheryl. That was beautiful as always. And with Cheryl's talking about gratitude, please stand and let us read together our vision and mission statement along with the Declaration of Principles, which we are all very grateful to have this teaching. Our mission statement. CSL West Georgia is a joyful global community where everyone belongs. Through our unique spiritual teachings, we provide a safe environment to experience compassionate living. Our Declaration of Principles. I believe there is one creative intelligence operating throughout the universe. I believe my purpose is to allow this divine mind to express in, as, and through me. I know that this divine presence is a power for good, which responds to my conscious use to create a life filled with health, love, peace, and success in all things. I use it now and I rejoice in it, and so it is.
And please remain standing. We have a new congregational song for June. Good morning, everybody. It's good to see you, always.
Good morning, good morning.
I think some of you know it. Connie and I'll sing it through for you once, and then we'll have you join us. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice your loving is a miracle, and how deeply you're connected to my soul? That you got it now? Everybody's got it. Okay, here we are going to sing. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle, and how deeply you're connected to my soul? And this time I want you to think about someone you'd like to sing this song to. Maybe they're here, or maybe they're not, but let's sing it to them anyway. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. One more time. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? And how deeply you're connected to my soul. All right, you sound good out there.
And a gratitude again. Let's say thank you, thank you, thank you to Dorothea Gates. She's going to be our reader this morning. And we are delighted that she is with us. We love you, Dorothea. We love you. Thank you.
Good morning, CSL West Georgia.
Morning.
The reading is coming out of A Guide for Spiritual Living, Science of Mind. The seamless, sacred self emerges. Why separate your spiritual life and your practical life? To an integral being, there is no such distinction. There has probably never been a time in modern history when the topic of integrity has been more provocative, more in our collective faces. The evening news offers an ample opportunities to witness the apparent lack of integrity, according to one's own judgment or discernment, being played out in real time. The question is whether we are willing to personalize this debate, examine our own lives, and witness the role integrity plays in our daily affairs. Most of us will think, I am an honest person. I conduct myself with integrity. Perhaps the place to begin this conversation is to define integrity. The word comes from the root word integrate, which means to combine one thing with another so they become whole. What is that we are combining together in a manner that enables us to become whole? Spiritually speaking, it means bringing an awareness of our oneness with God, the whole, into the many different aspects, the parts of our lives. Easy enough, right? Read. Have you caught yourself being one person at home, then morphing into another person at church, another person at work, and still another person while stuck in gridlock traffic?
Oh, yeah.
This doesn't mean your core values are changing. It means you are having a moment of spiritual amnesia. As a result, there may be inconsistencies in your demeanor. Your words, deeds, and actions may change based on where you are and who you are. My point is that while we may believe ourselves to be people of high integrity, when we can catch ourselves being different people at different times based on where we are, when we are, who we are, at the moment we are, We will see the truth out of integrity with each person who should matter most, ourselves. In the words of Heinrich Fromm, integrity simply means not violating one's own identity. The practice of a lifetime. To live a whole life is to live the integral integrity, to allow our oneness with the whole of God to spill over equally into every part of our lives. When we sense a lack of wholeness, what we are really experiencing is an incongruent connection, aka spiritual amnesia, with the sacred self. In short, we are living a splintered life, not comprehending or remembering what is at the center of our being. While who we are may be defined by many labels, we wear our name, gender, job, marital status, personality, so on, so forth. What we are in singular sacred being as an individualized point of God's omnipresence, the self living in human skin. The aforementioned quote by Lao Tzu is an invitation to consider the power of living a fully integrated life spiritually, mentally, and physically 24/7. When this happens, who we are consciously, seamlessly merges with that what we are. This means there is no part of our lives, no place where we are not sacred, where we are not experiencing the sacred self. It matters of awakening to its presence and staying awake. Realizing the truth can be life altering, not only life altering, but a life altering experience, because how we see ourselves and our world is forever changed. In the sacred moment, we awaken to the fact that we are living an integral life, a life of spiritual integrity. Once we align with the sacred self and honor its presence, it becomes integrated seamlessly, touching every aspect of our lives. It would not be exaggeration to say the self goes with us wherever we go. If we are all conscious, this awareness immensely alters our behavior. When we are mindfully aware of the self's presence, it sustains us, watches over us, protects us, and guides us in choices we make. The story below helps illustrate this point. Late one night, an aged and wise teacher took his students into the village, saying to his young protege, I am old and helpless and have no money. Go and follow people who are walking alone along the dark streets, and when no one will see you, pull them into the dark corner and take their money. Do them no harm, but bring me the money. All the students readily agreed, except one who replied, But, Master, there is never a time when no one will see me because myself is always observing what I do. With this, the master shouted with joy, saying, At last, there is one among you who knows the truth about himself. Let this be a lesson by which you all live your entire lives. While the origin of this parable is uncertain, it makes crystal clear that one of the greatest blessings and challenges of walking a spiritually integrated path is the ongoing opportunity each day presents to examine who and what we believe ourselves to be, and by extension, what we stand for in the world. And so it is.
And so it is. Do we have any Bob Sima fans out there? He's a really well-known positive music singer, and this is one of his songs and one of my favorites of his.
Yeah, he's in town this
Yeah, Connie and I are going to see him and John Stringer at Eddie's Attic.
the attic.
No mud, no lotus. Haven't you noticed the patterns of pain in your past? The things that broke you, yeah, they also woke you to the questions you needed to ask. The sleepless nights and the dizzying heights and the dreams, some of which came true. Tough breaks, heartaches, perfect mistakes created this version of you. And everything you go through grows you. It grows you. Yes, everything you go through grows you. Exposes who you are. If it hurt, it made you softer. If it was hard, it filled a hunger. If it touched you, your heart took hold. If it was simple, it made you wise. If it was sweet, it made you smile. Made an indelible impression on your soul. Your feet they walked and your lips they talked and your hands dug around for the truth. Every look, every book, pictures your mind took, created this version of you. And everything you go through grows you. It grows you, and everything you go through grows you. Exposes who you are. The roots of an endless summer, part-time temporary lovers, and the smoke in the deep blue sky. And as the time flew, you gathered up your truth as it passed right before your eyes. And the wound is where the light gets in, revealing the masterpiece you created just below your skin. And in the glow of your own light, your petals open wide, and you bloom right where you are. 'Cause everything you go through grows you. It grows you, and everything you go through grows you. Exposes who you are. You want to sing that with us one time? And everything you go through grows you. It grows you, and everything you, exposes who you are. So remember that next time you're going through a hard time. It's going to make you better.
Working on my AKA.
No mud, no lotus. Haven't you noticed the patterns of pain in your life? The things that broke you, well, they also woke you to the questions you needed to ask. Thank you.
Reverend Bronte just said, wow.
Wow.
And it was wow. It's a great song.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And now we have a beautiful speaker today that I think we all know and are always just thrilled to have her with us. Reverend Bronte is every month from here on out to be with us. Next 30 years. Woohoo! Hey, we're all going to be here. But you know what? Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be 100 and some, but that's okay. I'll be up here. So without further ado, let me give you the wonderful Reverend Bronte. Big.
Thank you, darling. 30 years. Wow. What did I just commit to? Let's make that 40, okay? Good morning. Once you turn to day, happy June. Happy Pride Month. Happy everything. Happy summer. Happy we've got water running in our pipes and all is well. Yay. Going to talk about imagination today. It's one of the 12 powers that was established by Charles Fillmore claims it, but it actually came before him. And when I was studying at Hillside International Truth Center, the wonderful Bishop Dr. Barbara King, oh my God, such a blessing to have studied under her. On Sundays there, when I was going through ministerial school, we always wore, the first Sunday of the month, we would wear the color for that particular power. She loves. And so for the month of June, imagination, the color is often called blue. Some played with the colors too. But so this morning I had on a top and I totally forgot about it. I ended up wearing blue, but it wasn't intentional. But anyway, that's another whole subject. The power is imagination. It's one of our, like, you can think of it as like a gift from spirit that we all have these 12 powers. It's a gift. And I was born in June, the end of the month, June 30th, a few minutes before midnight. So to me, that's also like exactly halfway through the year. And when I do my New Year's things again on my birthday, which you can do anytime, you know, the stones, you can write on a stone, you can toss some things into a flame. But I try to use the imagination power gift all year long. What am I imagining? How am I thinking about things? What am I looking at, looking for, creating in my life, focusing on, concentrating on? What am I thinking about? And thank you very much for that beautiful, beautiful opening. I really appreciated it. And you even mentioned traffic. And I was in traffic this morning, and the GPS said I tried to get here by 10, and it said you're going to get there at 10:22, and it was a very long traffic jam. And then Spirit came to me, because we can imagine, right? What can I do in this situation? It was up on 285, and I realized I'd not been praying. I'd just been looking at the time and figuring how late I might be, and was this traffic ever going to move? Instead of holding prayer for whatever might be up ahead, which turned out to be a lot of cars and many ambulances and a fire truck. And I kept wishing, oh, I should have gone earlier. I should have started earlier. But actually, if I had started earlier, I might have been more involved in that mess. But to remember to pray, let that go through us. Let what we are going through go through us and make us stronger. So there are 3 different things I'd like to talk a bit about this morning as far as imagination. They have titles even. Number 1, landscape your grounds. And now we're going to talk about Rickard Fillmore in there. And number 2, what's in your wallet by Catherine Ponder. And number 3, don't see yourself going to Barbados. Be in Barbados now. Some of that may have rang a little bell if you read Neville. I always like to bring some books with me if you want to take photos of them, if that's like, oh, that sounds like a book I'd like to read. Also, this thing called You, Ernest Holmes, Neville Goddard, he went by the name Neville, Awakened Imagination, and a Catherine Ponder book over there, whose title I already forgot because I have 30 of them at home at least. So, landscape your gardens. How can we use our imagination for that? Rickard Fillmore, and actually Catherine Ponder told this story, was one of the 3 sons of Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, the founders of Unity, which I was also trained in, but I really more toward New Thought, probably because of Dr. Barbara. In her chapter, The Imaging Law of Prosperity, she mentions that Rickard, who was an architect, he was the middle son, designed all of the grounds. If you've ever seen pictures of Unity Village, there's fountains, there's rose gardens, there's numerous buildings, and it's absolutely beautiful. He designed all of that when they first got the land. He sat down and he sketched it and he dreamed it up. And the money was there, so they started building. And what they finished, he thought of all that in 1926. And in 1929, 2 of the buildings, Unity Tower and the Silent Unity building, were completed. But then it was the time of Depression, and there wasn't a whole lot of money, and things just kind of got stopped. But what he did for the buildings that didn't have any funding yet, could not be built, he sat and he continued to sketch. And then he went out there and he planted and landscaped in the spaces where to be built would be. Kind of picture that? And to me, that lesson is, what can I landscape that hasn't showed up in my life? Instead of just saying, oh, it's not here. I want this or that, and it hasn't showed up. What can I landscape around that? Where can I plant flowers or seeds to beautify that thought, to perhaps make it grow, to picture it in my mind? And the awesome thing about when you're picturing it in your mind, you can change the plants at any time, right? The color scheme or whatever. And sure enough, when money came back in, they filled in all those beautiful buildings. So landscape your grounds, plant the shrubs around the buildings, even if you can't yet see the building, have the building, or complete the building in your mind even. What would the shrubbery look like? What would the side effects be of these things you want in your life? Good side effects. Always think about the good side effects. Rickard mentioned in later years that when that time was of not building, he would look out over the grounds where those buildings were to be erected and would imagine them as already being there. Isn't this what we teach? Isn't this what New Thought teaches? Imagine it as if it's already here. What would that feel like? What would it be like? How would it affect those that you love, the world? What would it be like? And he would look at it in every detail. So that's Rickert. When we're using our imagination, you can sit in a chair, you can ever lay out in the yard and look at the clouds. Did you do that as a child? And just lay out there. Do we do that now? Why not? You know, earthing's good for us anyway. So earthing is laying, hopefully without any shoes on. Probably good to have clothes on if you're laying on the ground. But looking up at the sky and, you know, just letting the ions and the positive energy from Mother Earth just come up and heal. Some people like to put their hands in the dirt or their feet in the dirt. While you're doing that, look up at the clouds and make pictures like perhaps you did as a child. What does that look like? What does that look like? See if you can use your powers of attention and intention to actually morph the clouds into what you want to see. And then go, oh, I did it. I did it. What's in Your Wallet with Catherine Ponder. Let me grab this book anyway. It's from the Dynamic Laws of Prosperity. She's an amazing person. She's still in the body, and I know she's, I think, in her 90s now, but she's just powerful, powerful woman. She said, take a little time each day to develop your imaging power of prosperity. Now, some of you may be feeling so absolutely prosperous that you don't have the need to do this. If you do, raise your hand, Bronte. Yes, 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 yes. If you have bills that need to be paid, spend some time and picture the checks. And she wrote this a while ago, so she wasn't using PayPal to pay anything or all the other apps and Apple cards and everything. If you have bills that need to be paid, picture the checks already written for the amount they are owed. Or see yourself paying the amounts online. I added that. If there's a need for a specific amount of money to appear in your life, you could do this also for your church. There's a specific thing you would like, specific amount of money. Pretend you have the check for that in your hands, made out to you. Some people actually do this. They'll take a check and write, $500,000 and put their name on it. And picture it. The point is to relax our minds about money, I think. There can be so much sense of lack, limitation, or, oh my God, I can't do this, or oh my God, I can't do that, or look at, oh, everyone's talking about inflation. Think of the things that are available and think of spiritual essence as money. As Ponder says, your imagination loves to be given definite pictures to build and to form. Again, landscaping your gardens, which the subconscious mind then gratefully accepts and gets busy producing things as definite results for you. So try this. You can do this now. Consider taking some time, closing your eyes, and mentally imagining large bills of large denominations bulging from your wallet. Oh my gosh, bulging. Now, you might not have a wallet, right? You might have an online wallet. You might have an Apple wallet. You might have a purse. Just if that's something you want to imagine, just money. You can give it, where you can use it, where you can donate it, where you can help someone else out with it, where you can take away the need to think about it because it's just there. Money coming in large amounts. Catherine Ponder said to image all the good you wish to experience. And it doesn't have to be money. What else can we overflow with, right? Opportunities. The things of your wildest dreams. Thinking big and then thinking bigger than that. Things you could do with your life. It can be health. It can be people or relationships. It can be success-driven ideas. And if any of that seems challenging or you can't seem to hold the vision very long, you can imagine seeing yourself having the energy and the vision to manifest all of that. I want to take a minute and do that. Now, it doesn't have to be money. Just close your eyes for a minute, or 30 seconds, or whatever, and just picture something in your mind that you would like to see materialize in your life. And maybe not even materialize because there's vibration of energy. Okay. Healing. Things that you might feel you're struggling with a little bit. And knowing you have this power within you of imagination to bring it forth. Now, it's usually suggested that you don't do this for someone else. You do it for yourself because you may not know what the highest good is for that person. Well, sure, if someone's going through a health challenge, you can wish them health. But rather than directing someone else's life, just do it for yourself. Imagine, and get creative. Imagine having the best day ever. Imagine having a day that's so full of surprises and delights that you're saying, thank you, God, so much that you got to do it in a couple other languages. Thank you, God. Gracias, Dios. It's as many languages as I know. Just picturing that. Wow, look at this. Because really it's all there anyway, right? But sometimes we forget to stop and see it. And then allow yourself to be open as the day moves on, the week moves on, this beautiful month of June continues, to see it showing up and to give yourself credit for it. You know, you can thank Spirit or all that is or however you thank. To thank yourself for having that ability to know what you want, or to kind of loose that knowing into the knowingness of Spirit, that this thing that shows up that you might think, what? No, I didn't ask for that. Would you please? You know, and it turns out to be the most fabulous thing you've ever experienced, right? Barbados. So, Neville Goddard wrote Awakened Imagination. He's like it on imagination. He's no longer in the body. However, he's all over YouTube. We live on, right? That's eternal life, okay? 40 years from now, you know. You can find him on YouTube. He did a lot of radio shows in his lifetime. I've just loved the particular story about Barbados. And another writer, Pam Grout, has an email newsletter, and she mentioned him this week, and it kind of reminded me, plus it was in a little more condensed form, of just what he was all about. Because Pam Grout, who wrote E Squared and E Cubed, also talks about metaphysics and manifestation a whole lot. So he was living, Neville Goddard was living in New York. Again, this was around the time of the Depression. And he was a Broadway dancer. Yeah. And she said this. It's easily one of her early favorites, and it came up to Pam Grout because there was a conversation between Michael Beckwith, who I'm sure many of you are familiar with, and Abiola Abrams, who I'm not. And Abiola Abrams just published a book about Abdullah, I know, we got a lot of names going on here. Abdullah was an Ethiopian rabbi who lived in New York, just a ways down from Neville, and introduced Neville to spiritual law. Got to read this book, and I don't have the title for it. Neville, as you probably know, she says, taught that our imagination and our consciousness creates its likeness, its manifestation in the physical world. So Neville was a young dancer on Broadway, living right in the middle of Manhattan at a time when there wasn't much money coming in because of the Depression. And all he wanted to do was to go to Barbados. That's where his family was. That's where he was born. Really wanted to go to Barbados, but he didn't have any money. So he was discussing this with Abdullah, who was teaching him spiritual law. And Abdullah just, you know, when you're telling somebody something really, really intensive and they just come back with a little quick answer, and part of you goes like, no, you know, I don't want a little quick answer. I'm trying to tell you how difficult this was, okay? So he was doing that. And this is what Abdullah said to him. 3 words. Be in Barbados. So if someone told that to us, we might think, okay, so I'm going to imagine this like we just did with the wallet. I'm going to picture this in my head. I'm going to hope for it. I'm going to keep my eyes open for it. May save up for it if it's a real practical way to look at it. Abdullah, no. It's not what I'm saying, except he was a person of few words, so he probably didn't even say all that. Be in Barbados. What does that mean? Neville said, or something like that. It meant to totally picture himself already there. Not how to get there, not the traveling, not the saving, not the imagining of how that would happen, but to be on the beach with his feet in the white sand and to hear the water, the waves. Are you going there? We're all going to go to Barbados, by the way. It's like in the water and the waves and the sun shining and the love of family. And he was getting it. And he was getting it. And there's a much longer explanation in the book and details of how it all happened. But he came back to Abdullah and said, yeah, I got the last ticket on the boat. And I think someone gave it to him or it just came to him. And he said, I am going to Barbados. Abdullah reminded him, you are in Barbados. Keep that thought. But secondly, you're going to add something. You are going to go first class. And Neville said, no, wait a minute. I got the ticket, right? It was the last ticket on that boat. It's given to me. And it's for steerage, which if you're not familiar, that would be like the lower class of the boat, maybe even really low in the boat. Abdullah said, going first class. And again, something happened and everything switched. And I think when he was getting ready to board the boat, they said, well, we're going to put you in first class. So he went to Barbados. He spent 3 months there. It was wonderful. And he came home also via first class. Powerful little story, you know, because it doesn't mean, and to me, it doesn't mean, well, I can't imagine. It's not that I shouldn't be imagining the steps or doing all the picturing and all that, but to see if I can't take the things I want one step further. Really, what is that going to feel like? And there's some things that we cannot change. because it's not our journey, like I mentioned earlier. If it's maybe someone going through a health thing, it doesn't mean we can cause a miracle to suddenly make them whole. It's their journey. But for ourselves, we have a whole lot of power going on in us. It's based in imagination. It's based in our knowledge of spirit and our ability to tap into that and our ability to gift ourselves with that. So perhaps think about what you want and spend at least some of this amazing time that you do in prayer and meditation and picturing and lists of things you want and wheels of fortune and all those other lovely things that we do, but spend some time with our feet in the sand, right? Picturing the ocean, hearing the waves, and then remembering to bump it up to first class, you know. The point of this, to me, is that imagination is even bigger than we imagine. We use it in our different ways, and none of them are neither bad nor good or indifferent. We use it. It's like a muscle. We can exercise it. We can take note of the things we imagine that show up to help us remember to imagine even larger and in more detail. And we can encourage others, perhaps, because, you know, it's a story about Neville, but what about Abdullah? The encourager. The person said, you can think bigger. Try this. Or I hear you and you're doing good, but go put your feet in the sand. Believe in this spiritual power that you have in you. So that might be the story calling for you to do some Abdullahing, and to remind others if they want to hear it. I think Neville kind of fought against it a bit, right? But if they want to hear it, just tell them you see spirit in them. And if that's not the type of thing that would resonate with them, you tell them, I see your heart. I see your soul. To be the encourager in their lives, to remind them of things they created in the past. I remember that time you got a discounted ticket to go wherever. I remember that time when you were going through this or that, and it worked out all right. And I think it was your energy, your heart, your soul, your spiritual belief system that got you through that time or helped you help that person or got you to where you are today. Or when our friends say, oh, I can't do this, or I'm stuck on that, or things just aren't getting better. To be that Abdullah and say, you are better. You're never stuck. Let me tell you the story about Neville. I would love to say that after reading him for so many years that I got a free ticket to Barbados. I did not. It's still open to that. It's still open to that. But when I first read the story and I was first talking about it, probably about 5, 6, 7 years ago, at Unity Athens, where I was minister for 19 years, there was a thrift store, Project Safe, which helps families reconnect and helps women that have gone through things. Great thrift store next to, I was always finding stuff there. So Barbados was on my mind, it was on my mind, it was on my mind. And I went into the thrift store, brought part of my bedroom wall here today. This is called Baxter's Road. Bridgetown, Barbados by Jill Warbler. And I'll put this out where you can look at it. It's a print and it's amazing. And I've got it hanging on my wall to remind me every time that I want something or I want to improve something in my life or I'm feeling stuck or things don't seem to be working out for me, that I can be in Barbados. I'm going to finish today with something from my favorite Ernest Holmes book, This Thing Called You, which is also in my bedroom. It probably talks to the picture. They probably go back and forth quite a bit. He says this: stop arguing, learn to believe. Stop debating, learn to accept. Stop looking for an authority outside your own conviction. This calls for complete confidence in the law, capital L, spiritual law, and an equal confidence in yourself. If you wish to be healed, you must expect to be made whole. If you wish freedom, you must no longer think bondage. Bondage and freedom are but two ways of using one law. If you spend all your time saying, I am poor, weak, sick, miserable, and unhappy, he didn't say once in a while. He said, if you use all your time doing that, you will attract poverty, weakness, sickness, and unhappiness. Use your intellect, your imagination, and feeling in the purpose of seeing and sensing freedom instead of bondage, joy instead of unhappiness, plenty instead of want, health in place of dis-ease. The very denial of your good keeps that good from you. The very denial of our good keeps that good from us. The very denial of our good keeps our good from us. Reversing this process through affirmation will bring about the good you desire. Open the gates of your consciousness. Can you feel that? Just swinging those gates of consciousness open. Whoa! Open your gates of consciousness to the divine presence, and you will be flooded with light. Man was poet, absolute poet. You'll be flooded with light. Consciously commune with the Spirit, and you will receive a direct answer. The answer will always fit your individuality because you are life individualized. No one can take your place. Oh, that's another good thing to share with someone else. When you're talking, when you're Abdullahing them. Made up a word. Wow. No one can take your place. There is neither competition nor monopoly in spirit. Coming daily to the supreme source of being for inspiration and guidance, you will receive a new influx of life, always fitted to your need. Communing with the Spirit, you receive inspiration, you acquire confidence and faith. You rest in peace, and you are poised. You rest in peace, you are poised. You are full of spirit. Look around someone's face if you're comfortable doing that. Do it at home if you are, or look in the mirror and see that spirit in them. See that incredible infinity, total spirit in them, shining bright like a beacon. You're a healer. Did you know that? You're a healer. You heal things. You are a forecaster and a prophesier of all that which is coming into your life. You have more love and energy and light in you than you may ever really realize. You have more ability and talent and abundance in you than you may be realizing right now. You have all it takes to live an incredible, empowered, full of imagination that comes true life. And so it is, and so it shall be. Thank you. Thank you. And so it is.
So it is.
And so it is.
That was wonderful. I think as we get older, we forget about our imagination and the power of it. Uh-huh. Well, I have a song for you this morning that's off my new album that I just finished. Yay! It's been sent off to be pressed, and I should have it back sometime in June. Yeah, thank you. You know, sometimes you just have to say, "Well, I'm through," because I could have kept on going. I was having a lot of fun, but I think I'd better stop. Many of you know that my husband is very challenged with dementia right now, and I'm his primary caregiver. And this inspired this song because I used to say, "Oh, poor me, why do I have to do this?" And then I thought, well, if not me, who will do it for him? And the answer is me. It's called "If Not Me, Then Who." I can do anything. I can go anywhere. 'Cause if not me, then who? Hard things I never dreamed that I could ever do, they fall into place with my love's grace. I wanted someone else to walk down those dark, lonely roads and do the things I could never do. But then I asked myself, if not me, then who? If not me, then who? 'Cause I talk that talk, now I walk that walk. When spirit calls, I show up. And when it hurts to love, that's when I love more. And when I lose, I try again. 'Cause if not me, then who will bring the love? If not me, then who? You anywhere. I can do anything. I can go anywhere. I let spirit guide the way. I put aside my fears and go light the darkness. Bring healing to these days. Yes, I can go anywhere. Anytime. Miracles happen every day. With my fears to the ones who need me. Let spirit show the way. Ask myself, if not me, then who? If not me, then who? If not me, then who will bring the love? If not us, then who will light the way? If not us, then who will change the world? If not us, then who? If not me, then who? When we're asked to do things that we can't face, you know we do it anyway. and we are changed for the better. We're changed for forever, and we can face whatever comes our way. We all talk that talk, it's time we walk that walk. When spirit calls, we show up. And when it hurts to love, that's when we love more. And when we lose, we try again. 'Cause if not us, then who will bring the love? If not us, then who? We can do anything. We can go anywhere. We let spirit show the way. We put aside our fears to the ones who need us, and show the world a healing way. 'Cause if not us, then who? If not us, then who will heal the world? If not us, then who will bring the love? If not us, then who? Thank you.
Beautiful. Wasn't it just beautiful? I have to tell y'all, we were talking about Barbados this morning. My daughter comes to my bed, to my bathroom. She says, Mom, did you see the pictures? Did you see the pictures? I said, what? Her friend is in Bali. She went on vacation. And this had been a dream of Brandy's to go to Bali. And she made it happen. So she sent us pictures, and I told Allison, put that on the list.
Really?
Beautiful. Oh my. Makes you really want to go Barbados and to Bali, everyone. It's beautiful. All righty. To now, part of our service comes to our conscious giving. It's now giving to our community, and money is a spiritual activity. Spiritual giving is an opportunity to express our gratitude and open our consciousness to receive greater abundance. It is the practice of participating in the circulation of universal good. We have 3 ways to give here at CSL West Georgia. We can put cash or a check in the envelope found in your bulletin. You can donate online by accessing your personal Breeze account using the Breeze mobile app on your phone. You can also donate electronically with your phone by using the information found on the back of the bulletin. This information is also being placed in the chat window for our online viewers. If you donate online, either using your phone or your Breeze account, please put an online giving card in the collection plate to acknowledge your contribution. If you did not want to pick one up at the door, you can get one from the usher. Now, as one consciousness for prosperity, let us say together, freely I give with a feeling of abundance, knowing that my gift blesses others and myself as well.
Freely I give, freely I give, giving from my heart and from my soul. Freely I give, freely I give, and the gifts come back to me tenfold. Lovingly I give, lovingly I give, giving from my heart and from my soul.
And together we say, I am grateful for the divine givingness circulating abundantly through my life, our community, and our world. Announcements. My announcement is I'm back from Corpus Christi, Texas.
Yay.
And I want to tell you, folks, the beach was 108 degrees. The humidity was 90%. They had warnings out not to go out into the ocean. I didn't go to the beach. The whole rest of the gang went to the beach. I stayed home, but we had a wonderful time. Happy to be back, needless to say. Wonderful to see all your smiling faces. And yesterday, it was like a welcome home party for a birthday for our very special Miss Dawn.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dawn. Happy birthday to you.
And many, 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 many more.
Many more.
All righty. Next Sunday, ta-da, our guest speaker is our beloved Dorothea. Yay! Dorothea's been so busy, we haven't had a chance to have her. So please, everyone, come next week and listen to our wonderful, wonderful Dorothea.
She's got
You
some
know,
really
she
cute
plays-
things
well,
over
she
here
does-
too, doesn't she?
She
What are
yes,
all those
she
things
plays
there?
all kinds of roles in our community. And I want you to come and look at her at the table over here when we're done. She's got all kinds of wonderful things for y'all to have, which I have some, not ever enough. Yesterday we had fun. She's got some new cards coming out that are just wonderful. And we played it here in our birthday party, and it was really fun. So as soon as they're ready, we're gonna let y'all know. Now, what's it called again, Dorothea? Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice? Can't sing. We'll have to call in the girls for that. It was really, really fun. And remember, she supports our Marcia over here with the technical requirements for our Sunday service. She joins our practitioner, Shauna, and doing prayer treatments during the week on Mondays at 1 o'clock. And next Sunday, of course, she's going to be delivering a meaningful message. And she's also the president of our board.
Oh, that's a fun job.
That's a biggie. I don't know if there's anyone new with us today. If you're new with us today, please let Ronnie know. You raise your hand and she'll bring you a new packet to welcome you to our community. And if anyone would like prayer support, we have the container, the white box over here on the table. You can fill out a card. And on Mondays at 1, as I said, Dorothea and Shauna will do prayer treatments for you. And they are wonderful. They work, y'all. They work. And remember, of course, we're on all kinds of social media. Check us out. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, we are on it. So make sure you check us out. And you can watch the service on Facebook even. So please check us out. Now, if you'd all stand with me, we'll do our closing affirmation. And of our community song, we're all going to join in a circle on the floor of our building. We go forth today, knowing that we are God's blessing in the world. Only good comes from us. Only good comes to us. And so it is.
And are we going to eat? Are we going to eat?
Oh, hey, yes.
Don't forget.
That's an important, you know us. We love to eat. So we had a huge party yesterday, and we've got all kinds of wonderful food. So please, everyone, afterwards, help yourselves.
All right. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. His Spirit united are we. hands with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my song of love. To take each moment and live. Yes, there is peace on